How to Live Fully in the Now, Lessons from the Power of Now. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Mystic Stories, where we uncover life's hidden messages to help us live more meaningful lives. Have you ever felt like life is a relentless river, sweeping you along before you can catch your breath? Long days at work, bills piling up, moments of joy with loved ones slipping away too fast, leaving behind an emptiness you can't quite name. Do you ever look in the mirror and wonder, is this it? Am I truly living or just getting by? I get it, because I've been there exhausted days, sleepless nights, forcing a smile to keep going. And maybe, like me, you're searching for a spark, a way through the fog of daily life. Today, I want to share a story with you, the story of Lily Harper, an ordinary woman in Portland, and how she rediscovered her light through a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Through Lily's journey, we'll explore 3 profound lessons that can help you not just survive tough days, but truly live right here, right now. The Nameless Void. Rain drizzled outside the tall windows of Powell's Books, where Lily Harper stood behind the counter, her hands gliding over books with practiced ease. Her green sweater was frayed at the cuffs, her chestnut hair slipping from its braid, brushing her shoulders. Outside, Portland shimmered faintly in October's rare sunlight streets glistening from last night's rain, the air sharp with the scent of wet asphalt and fallen leaves. The city stretched out gray and restless through the glass, a patchwork of brick and concrete trying to rise from the ashes of an economic collapse years ago. Shops blinked open like hesitant eyes, buses rumbled past with hissing exhaust, and pedestrians clutched umbrellas, half expecting another downpour. Inside Powell's, life pulsed more quietly. Pages rustled, the espresso machine clattered in the cafe corner, and customers' whispers wove through rows of shelves brimming with stories, some seeking escape, others chasing answers. This was Lily's sanctuary, a place where she'd pieced herself back together years ago, when depression's shadow threatened to swallow her whole. Now, at 28, she had a small family: Evan, her husband with gentle brown eyes, and Grace, their 3-year-old daughter, whose scribbled star drawings covered the fridge. Her job at Powell's was steady. Evan's salary covered rent, and their apartment glowed with string lights, thriving ferns, ivy-climbing bookshelves, and a stubborn pothos in a cracked pot. From the outside, everything looked fine, but every morning as Lily stood in the bathroom, harsh fluorescent light casting shadows across her face, she saw a stranger. A dull ache throbbed beneath her ribs, a wordless question: is this all there is? I want you to pause for a moment and think, have you ever felt like Lily? Days when everything seems okay, but inside, a quiet void grows. You work, care for your family, laugh with friends, yet something whispers, what am I doing with my life? Maybe you've heard the cheerleading out there: chase your dreams, live your best life. But then you wonder, what's my dream? How do I start when I don't even know what I want? Lily felt that too. She'd survived the collapse, days when bills loomed like verdicts, nights when Evan's silence stretched cold between them, Grace's cries piercing sleepless hours. She made it through with lessons from teacher Amos, a mysterious guide in the Willamette forest, who taught her to breathe through darkness, write "I am enough" in a leather journal, and light a candle each night to reclaim her light. But now, even with stability, the ache lingered, nameless but persistent, like a splinter she couldn't pull out. Lily's journey, a tiny spark. One morning at Powell's, amid the familiar rhythm of the counter scan, stack, smile, Lily felt her mind drift. She processed a pile of returns, hands moving on autopilot, but her thoughts wandered in a fog she couldn't name. A customer approached, a sharp woman in her 40s, black coat crisp, sliding a book across the wood. It was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, its cover faded, edges curled from use, the white title stark against a deep blue sky. Good choice, Lily said, her voice automatic, but her eyes caught on the title. She'd seen the book countless times on the shelves, but today, it landed like a pebble in the still lake of her mind. During her lunch break, in the cramped staff room thick with burnt coffee, she found another copy of The Power of Now on a cluttered shelf. She opened it, and the first lines hit like a cool breeze. I had lived in a state of almost continuous anxiety and depression for years. Tolle wrote of himself a man on the brink, trapped by his mind's despair, until one night he realized, I cannot live with myself any longer. From that he saw two selves, the noisy ego of thought, and his true self, quiet beneath. Lily's chest tightened. She knew that feeling, the collapse years, when she believed she was worthless, unlovable, a failure. But Tolle said, You are not your mind. You are the one who observes it. She whispered, almost without thinking, I am not my worry. The words trembled in the air, but they were a lifeline. She clutched tightly. From that moment, Lily's journey began not to change the world, but to find herself, one breath at a time. Lesson 1. Living in the present moment. That night, Lily sat cross-legged on the living room rug, a cheap candle from a discount store flickering weakly. Evan dozed on the couch, his sci-fi paperback slipping from his hand. Grace murmured in her sleep, her star-shaped nightlight casting dots across the ceiling. Lily closed her eyes, Tolle's words echoing. The present moment is all you ever have. She just tried to be here, now. No phone, no worries, just the room sharp around her, the rough rug under her palms, the faint sweetness of candle wax, the distant hum of cars beyond the window. Her mind raced bills due, Grace's cough last week, but she let it drift, like a cloud floating by. For a few fleeting minutes, the ache in her chest eased, as if a door had cracked open. I want to share a truth, Lily learned. We rarely live in the present. When you eat breakfast, you're thinking about work. When you're with your kids, you're worrying about money. When you lie down, your mind lists unfinished tasks. But Tolle says the past is just memory, the future just imagination. Only now is real, and that's where life happens. Lily carried this lesson into her days, in small steps. At Powell's, she didn't just scan books, she felt the cool scanner in her hand, heard nearby pages turning, saw a child's curious eyes picking a book. One day, Mr. Hensley, a regular who loved military history, grumbled about the rain. Instead of nodding absently, Lily listened, truly listened. Rain's good for the soul, he said, and she smiled. A real smile this time. She tried it at home, too. One morning, when Grace spilled sauce on her shirt, instead of snapping, Lily knelt, wiped her daughter's cheek, and felt Grace's tiny warmth. Be here, she thought, and the moment became a gift. Evan noticed the shift. You're quiet tonight, he said, and she grinned. Good quiet. I know being present sounds simple, but it's not easy. Life is loud, demanding, pulling you away. But imagine, what if you could pause, just 5 seconds, and truly feel this moment? When you sip coffee, taste its bitterness, feel the mug's warmth. When you hug someone, notice their heartbeat. That's where the light begins. How to start. If you're thinking, I'm too busy to be present, I hear you. Lily was busy too, with shifts, Grace, endless worries. But she learned presence doesn't take time, it takes intention. One day, roped into story time, at Powell's kids section, a chaos of sticky hands and squeals, Lily took a breath. Recalling Tolle, you cannot escape the now. She sat down, felt the faded red cushion beneath her, listened to the volunteer's animated reading of The Monster Book. A boy tugged her sleeve, and instead of annoyance, she smiled, letting the moment fill her. You can try it like Lily. Next time you're stressed in traffic before a meeting, when your kids fussy, pause. Breathe deeply. Notice one small thing, birdsong outside, the feel of your chair, the scent of coffee. Just a few seconds, but it anchors you, like a quiet hug from yourself. Lesson 2. You are not your mind. Lily used to think her mind was her every thought, every fear, every cruel whisper. During the collapse years, when she lost her job, when she and Evan fought, when Grace cried for her, her mind screamed, You're a failure. You're not enough. You're unlovable. She believed those words, let them define her, drag her into darkness. But the power of now changed that. Tolle wrote that your mind isn't you, it's a tool, sometimes a tyrant, but you are the one who sees it. Lily read about Tolle's crisis, a night on the edge, realizing his loud ego wasn't his true self. If I'm not my worry, she thought, then who am I? She started small. One day at Powell's, a frazzled customer, a woman demanding a book ASAP, jerked Lily's nerves. The old whisper returned. I screwed up. I'm useless. But she paused, breathed, felt the counter's wood under her palms. This is just a thought, she told herself. It's not me. She gave calm directions, and when the woman muttered thanks, Lily realized she didn't carry that anger home. I want you to consider, how often do you let your mind take charge? When your boss critiques you, you think you're a failure. When you argue with family, you think they hate you. When you lie down, your mind replays mistakes, stealing sleep. But what if those thoughts aren't you? What if you're the vast sky, and they're just clouds passing through? Lily learned to watch her mind. One night, when Grace ran a high fever, Lily held her, her daughter's cries cutting deep. Her mind roared, "You're a bad mom. Why weren't you here?" She breathed, let the thought drift, and focused. Grace's warmth, Evan's pacing, the faint medicinal smell. This isn't me, she thought, and the ache softened, making room for love. Practicing awareness, Lily didn't become a Zen master. She still worried, still snapped, still had days her mind won. But she gained a powerful tool, awareness. Each time her mind shouted, she paused, breathed, and asked, "Is this true? Is this me?" One afternoon, when Evan came home late and forgot milk, anger flared. "He doesn't care," her mind yelled. But she paused, felt her breath, and saw Evan's hair messy, eyes shadowed from a long shift. She chose to say, "You tired? Rest a bit." He looked at her, surprised, and they sat, coffee in hand, no fight, just easy silence. You can do it like Lily. Next time you're stressed when someone annoys you, when you beat yourself up, try these 3 steps. 1. Pause. Don't react yet. Take a deep breath. 2. Observe. Notice the thought in your head. What's it saying? 3. Let go. Ask, is this me? Then focus on now your hands, the sounds around you, your breath. It won't erase pain, but it gives you power not to be swept away. As Tolle says, you are the awareness, not the noise. Lesson 3. Acceptance brings freedom. Lily's hardest lesson was acceptance, not giving up, but letting go of the fight against what she couldn't change. She used to battle reality. When Grace was sick, she blamed herself for working. When Evan faced job stress, she tried to fix it, to make everything perfect. When bills loomed, she lay awake, imagining worst-case scenarios. But Tolle said, what you resist persists. Acceptance is the door to freedom. One night, their apartment was a battlefield. Grace burned with fever, crying sharply. Evan paced, voice tight. She's still hot. Lily's chest clenched, her mind screaming, do something! Fix this! But she stopped. She held Grace, felt her daughter's ragged breaths, heard the rain beyond the window, sensed Evan's worry. This is now, she thought. I don't have to fight it. She looked at Evan, said softly, we're here. He sat beside her, his hand brushing hers, and they stayed, not running, not fixing, just being. That moment didn't cure Grace or pay debts, but it gave them strength, the strength of acceptance. I want you to think about when you fight reality. You're stuck in traffic, you fume, but the jam stays. You lose a job, you panic, but panic only drains you. Someone hurts you, you cling to anger, but it only weighs you down. What if you let go of the fight, just a little? Lily learned acceptance step by step. One day, when a book shipment arrived late and customers complained, she breathed and thought, this is reality. What can I do? She apologized, reorganized, moved on, leaving the stress behind. When Evan said he might lose his job, she didn't spiral. She took his hand, said, we'll get through. They planned, not from fear, but from calm. Acceptance isn't surrender. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop trying. Lily still worked, cared for Grace, chipped away at debt. But she quit battling what was beyond her. She started a small group at Powell's, just a few people around a table, sharing about presence. She didn't aim to change the world, just to ripple outward. And the ripple grew. A customer joined, Then a coworker, even Evan, once skeptical, sat down, underlining lines in the power of now. You can start like Lily. Next time you face something tough, a fight, a failure, a bad day, try saying, "This is reality." Breathe, feel your body, ask, "What can I do now?" Maybe it's apologizing, resting, or just drinking water. That small act will carry you through, not by force, but by peace. Gratitude makes life worth living. Lily didn't find a dream job. She didn't clear her debts, turn Portland into paradise, or make every day magical. But she learned one final truth from the power of now. A life worth living isn't about what you achieve, it's about what you cherish. One evening, she stood at her apartment window, Grace on her hip, Evan beside her. City lights pierce the rain, like Grace's stars fall into earth. "It's different now," she said, and Evan kissed her temple. Grace giggled. She was grateful for Evan's morning coffee, Grace's messy drawings, every moment she chose to be here, imperfect as it was. I want to share a small story. One night, lighting her candle, Lily wrote in her leather journal Teacher Amos's gift, "I am enough." This time, she added, "I am here." Those words didn't erase pain, but they were light she carried through rainy days, long shifts, Grace's tantrums. Tolle says, life is now, not when you're richer, better, or perfect. Right now, you have a breath, someone you love, a moment to feel. That's enough to live fully. An invitation to you. I want you to try something today. Pause. Look around. Find one thing to be grateful for. Maybe it's sunlight through your window, a text from a friend, or just that you're still trying. Write it down or say it aloud, "I'm grateful for." Then breathe, feel it. That's where life starts, not at some finish line, but right here. Lily keeps going with Powell's, Grace, Evan, good days and bad. But she carries the light of now, and it changes everything. She doesn't promise you'll find every answer, but she promises that if you choose presence, you'll find yourself. A ripple outward. Thank you for joining me through Lily's story and the power of now. If you found a spark in these words, share it with someone, a friend, a loved one, or yourself on a hard day. Try living in this moment, just one breath, and see what shifts. I'm Anna from the Mystic Stories. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in our next tale, where we'll uncover more of life's mysteries together. Until then, remember, you are enough, right now.